We're Robin and Steve, and we're at Blue Lagoon of the Isawa group. Not the lagoon from the movie, that's around the corner. But this place was pretty good, with trees dripping with mangoes. The kind with corrosive sap, so we had to pick them carefully, with our friends Sarah and Campbell. Our mission was to walk and eat. Lowe's tea shop helped us with the eating part of the mission. Later the menu would also feature crab curry. But we were here for the cakes and the homemade lemonade. This provided more energy than we burnt in our walk. Another day, another walk, and more energy, this time in the form of sugarcane. Here's Campbell up a mast. We're all trying to fix all the things before leaving Fiji. En route to our checkout at Denarau, we saw some dolphins. This more than made up for the fact that we were tacking alongside Genki. Sadly, motor sailing. But we made it to Denarau, a weirdly fancy boaty bubble, where we dined with the crew from Genki and Amalie. Next day we took the bus to Nandi to hit the markets for what we thought would be our last chance to hoard tropical fruit. So many pineapples and pineapple art. Now we could cross seas without developing scurvy. Genki and Amalie were to leave before us, so we had a number of feasts. Sushi, compliments of Genki. And then the final gathering aboard our boat, Rakali. Preparing to sail 10-ish days to New Zealand. An important part of that preparation is a hearty breakfast. It was too far to kayak, so we had inflated our dinghy to get in and out of Denarau. We'd checked out and would set off if ever we could get all the mud off our anchor chain. It was a rough start as we tacked through the pass. We would have many days ahead of 3-hour watches, sleeping and eating. I am on watch here, just making it as comfortable as I can. Comfort is vital for well-being. Scurvy prevention tropical fruit party in the form of soursop. My 3 a.m. watches are the best, as I get the sunrise. There's a lot of doing nothing and being by ourselves as we take turns resting. Another scurvy prevention tropical fruit party, this time in the form of pineapple. I am on watch here. I stand up every 10 to 20 minutes on watch to have a good look around. Here Steve's doing a quick rigging check before relaxing. Pawpaw party. Balance out all the eating and sleeping, a spot of gentle exercise. which is different every day depending on the conditions, which soon got soggy. Cold weather makes us hungry. We'd been looking at the forecast. If we continued to New Zealand, things were not going to be fun. And we were actually tucking our way towards New Caledonia anyway. We decided to change destinations. And with the wind from behind, it was much nicer. It's a bit rolly when the wind's right behind, which makes for some good balance challenges. And cooking at sea is always a balancing act. Soon it started raining. When resting on passage, we use the aft quarter berth, which has a window to the cockpit. It's reassuring to see Steve's legs. While on watch, we must keep an eye out for boats, keep an eye on the chart, not that we can do much about underwater volcanoes, and just keep an eye on the sails, or the motor. At night, we'll listen to audiobooks to help us stay awake. And it's also important to check for leaks, fuel levels, and that all is well under the floor. Sometimes we'll overlap for a meal. It must be smooth here, or those plates would fly. One sad reality about life on the ocean is that things break, including zippers, in favourite jumpers. It's our 6th day at sea, and we're nearly at the pass, just in time for the incoming tide. There's land out there, but for now it's obscured by cloud. We could feast on the last of our fresh ingredients before checking in and enjoy riding the tide in. Inside the pass, things calmed down and I could revel in the ability to just walk on deck without even hanging on. Worn out and excited to sleep, little did we know we'd soon have to issue our first pan. We were approaching this cape in the late afternoon when we saw a kayak and a man nestled in the rocks. He waved at us, but once he started flashing his torch at us, we realised he was in trouble. The tide was high, so he was in a good spot. He was moving well and even had set a little tent, but it was too rough and the current too strong for him to swim to us. We motored as close as we could without putting ourselves at risk. He signalled to us that he had no communications. We signalled to him that our phone wasn't working, but that we would go further out to radio for help.
Vicki, Noumea, Fiji, you've been broken, please come again, sir.
Noumea Recali, Cape name is Cap, November, Delta, Oscar, Uniform, Alpha, over.
That's copy, sir, thank you. So the person is just under the cape you see on the chart.
It didn't feel good motoring away, but there was no radio signal right below the cape. Within less than 2 hours, we were told that a rescue party were on the way, and later were told that he was rescued and is safe. So that was our surprise adventure on arrival to New Caledonia. Now we could soak in the scenery of this new place we hadn't planned to visit. As the sun rose, we could see some beautiful forest, and then denuded hills. But more about the history and local industry next time. The ferries here don't muck around. We're about to check into the boaty mecca that is Noumea. Here I'm trying trying to learn a few French phrases while Steve checks out the scenery. It pays to pay attention to the charts. So many danger warnings. And with fancy yachts flying everywhere, we had to keep a good lookout. Made it! Our friends from Amelie came to say hello and made our dreams come true. Delicious fresh bread and cheese and croissants. Post-passage, something always needs tweaking. In this case, it's our staysail furler, being lifted to tension our inner stay. We were just going to live it up here for a few days, until it was a bit safer to sail on to New Zealand. In the meantime, we'd live it up, with baguettes and tropical fruit, and even just looking at cheese. We went on a long walk with our friends Rich and Jude. In a park, we did some winch winding cross training, and then had more vegetables on one platter than we'd had in a long time. It's only going to be a quick trip in Noumea for us, so we'll leave off at Noumea Aquarium, which was excellent, by the way. Join us next time as we wave goodbye to New Caledonia and give sailing to New Zealand another go.